So this happened 3 to 4 months ago.
Last time, your blood pressure was systolic pressure 130 millimeter of mercury pillar, diastolic pressure 96 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your pulse was 66 beats per minute.
When I had my blood pressure checked and I got 130 over 96 millimeters of mercury. Of course, I was not feeling too well at that time, but I was a little disturbed, not because of the top number, 130, which seemed relatively okay, but for the bottom number, 96 millimeters of mercury was not a normal reading. So in this video, I'll share my experience with you on how I lowered high blood pressure naturally without taking any antihypertensive. So the top number wasn't so alarming, but that bottom number meant that something was wrong. Prior to that period, I wasn't just stressed. My body was actually fighting malaria. Maybe had some dehydration. Of course, I wasn't resting well. The fact is that I wasn't feeling my usual self. Low energy, some body ache, poor sleep, and even some subtle headaches. Though there was no chest pain, no dizziness, no other symptoms suggestive of any cardiovascular problem. But I was not comfortable because that is not my normal range of blood pressure. So I knew I had malaria, just like you may also sometimes know, with the symptoms that are common to you. But it's always good to have a malaria parasite test done to check for malaria parasites in your blood to confirm malaria. Because it's important to know, for you to know that infection, malaria may quietly raise blood pressure, may quietly raise your blood pressure because of fever. There may be dehydration, inflammation, the inflammation occurring, poor sleep. In fact, there will even be increased work of the heart. So many people treat malaria. Many people treat malaria but don't connect it to their blood pressure. And that may be high sometimes when an individual has malaria. So let me tell you what I did to lower this abnormal blood pressure. You will find out what my normal blood pressure is at the end of this video. I took 4 steps to lower my blood pressure. Basically 3 steps, and then I will tell you the 4th step that I took to confirm the lowering of this blood pressure. So the first thing I did was to not ignore the malaria symptoms. I had to take the step of checking if I actually had malaria. Apart from the symptoms, I had a malaria parasites microscopy done, which actually showed there was presence of malaria parasites in my blood. All right, so that was not ignored, and immediately I started treatment with anti-malaria. So it was not guesswork, it was not trying to do half treatment, because using the anti-malaria, depending on the type, comes with instructions, and you should follow the instructions most of the time available in the leaflets or actually as prescribed by your doctor. So immediately I started the anti-malaria, started to experience the reduction in the symptoms. Fever settled. In fact, my heart rate was definitely normal before and still normal. The sensations I was having in my head reduced drastically. My body felt calmer. So high blood pressure is not just about the heart. It may be related to what your body is fighting, just like mine was fighting malaria. Step 2, I rested properly. Yes, what that means was that as a very busy medical doctor, I had to take only emergency, urgent needs, attention. This was important because even though as a doctor, especially practicing in this part of the world, you are very busy. But I had to ensure that I attended to matters that were only urgent or as a matter of emergency. Next, as a content creator, I needed to take a break, and which I did. Put away my phone, no responding to urgent messages, so to say, responding to the social media comments on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. That helped a great deal. So I reduced scrolling here and there. I was able to sleep more, sleep better, reduce physical and mental stress. So I started pushing my body where it was asking for rest. Do you know that sleep alone, adequate rest can get your blood pressure, an individual's blood pressure, to get reduced by as high as 10 to 20 millimeters of mercury? And this may also happen with exercise when you are fit for that kind of activity. Don't underestimate the power of rest or sleep. Step 3, I fixed hydration and salt. Malaria dehydrates you. Dehydration affects the blood vessels. The blood vessels get thickened and they increase the pressure on the wall and the force of blood through the vessels, leading to high blood pressure. So I ensured good hydration for an adult, at least 3 liters of water in 24 hours. But when there is fever, if you have malaria with associated fever, then you should increase your water intake, as fever is a cause of dehydration. It's one cause of dehydration. I avoided processed foods, focused on light and nourishing meals, no extreme diets, just ensuring balanced diets, fruits, vegetables, proteins, and of course some carbohydrates to get that right balance. And finally, step 4, I checked again, but this time with some expectation that the blood pressure was now going to get to the normal. There was no panic, no checking after movement. So I checked and I saw next 128 over 89 millimeters of mercury. This time the pulse rate was 63 beats per minute.
Last time, your blood pressure was systolic pressure 128 millimeter of mercury pillar, diastolic pressure 89 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your pulse was 63 beats per minute.
I waited again for some minutes, ensuring that my body was calm, stable, and now became
Last time, your blood pressure was systolic pressure 115 millimeter of mercury pillar, diastolic pressure 78 millimeter of mercury pillar. Your pulse was 71 beats per minute.
115 over 78 millimeters of mercury, and the pulse rate was 71 beats per minute. And interestingly, this is actually within my normal readings, which is less than 120 for the systolic and then less than 80 for the diastolic, which falls within the normal range of between 90 to 120 for systolic and 60 to 80 for diastolic blood pressure. So it was the same body, but things have changed on the inside, and that's what happens when you get the right treatment for whatever medical condition that you have. The changes definitely most of the time will take place and you get yourself back. So what are the lessons from my experience? Elevated blood pressure does not mean hypertension automatically. There are guidelines, there are ways by which you confirm that an individual has hypertension by the numbers, plus or minus, with symptoms, and so many other information around it. So high blood pressure is not a life sentence. Sometimes it's just a signal that something is happening differently in your body, not a diagnosis of hypertension per se. So elevation of blood pressure can be worsened by infection, poor sleep, dehydration, stress, and pushing your body beyond the limits, pushing it when you need to be resting. So what you do, treat the cause once it has been identified. Of course, you need to consult with your doctor for proper evaluation to know what exactly is happening in your body and possibly the cause of high blood pressure. So the fact is that the numbers can change even without taking antihypertensive. This doesn't mean that everyone or you should ignore hypertension or stop your medication. If you are on medications for hypertension currently, you need to consult with your doctor appropriately for any necessary change or changes in your management. So you can ask questions about my experience, questions about hypertension. In fact, I have some videos on management of high blood pressure, how to monitor, how to measure your blood pressure. I'm sure you find those videos very informative. Please check them out. I have them in a playlist, so you can actually play that series and get well informed. Information is powerful, especially the right one, and then when well applied. So the question may be, what is driving your blood pressure up? Some people maybe lifestyle, some people is diet, some people there's the genetic factor, some people is actually stress. And once the factors are identified and proper management is given, you will definitely get some improvement. So the question is your body fighting something? Have you identified it? Why don't you consult with your doctor? Are you truly resting? Healing comes with rest, not just with medication. Not all symptoms require drugs. Not all symptoms require drugs. And if you have ever had a high blood pressure reading during a stressful period or during a treatment for malaria, for example, then this video is for you. You should watch it again and get the points. And you should also ensure to share with somebody that you know may be dealing with high blood pressure, or even those that you love that need to be informed about this. Watch it again yourself, listen carefully, ask questions in the comments if you have any. Let me know your thoughts about this. Thank you for watching. Remember to give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.